So today I'm going to tell you a story all about a woman on a mission, and her name was Jo Estill. Jo Estill was an American classical singer born in 1921. She performed professionally all over the world. But although Jo had studied singing for over 15 years, she still felt like she didn't really understand what she was doing. She would walk on stage terrified. She'd become a great artist, but just didn't really understand what she was doing with the voice, praying for each performance to be over. In the 1950s, Jo was offered to perform at the Holland Festival, which would have shot her to international fame. However, life was to take her on a different path. Jo decided she didn't want to perform at this level, and her husband had fallen ill, and so Jo returned home to Colorado Springs. Jo continued singing after returning home and also took a job as a bookkeeper, which she would do for the next 10 years. When Jo's daughter Alice was in her final year of high school, Jo decided to enroll in the School of Music at Colorado College to further her education. While studying, Jo also offered to teach on the singing faculty, and she was well known for her great singing in the area. But it was here that Jo had the light bulb moment. While teaching a young student who was accompanied by her mother and her brother that day, the brother said to his mum, "Why is that lady crying?" Jo overheard this and realised that is exactly what I'm doing. If everyone can cry, then everyone can sing. Following her graduation, Jo was offered a fellowship to follow her master's in music education at Cape Western Reserve University in Cleveland. As Jo was reaching the end of her training, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. Being the amazing woman that Jo was, this was absolutely not going to hold this woman back. She was determined to further her studies in the research of voice. Now, lucky for all of us, Jo survived her cancer. She continued her mission to show the world that everybody has a beautiful voice. With research being Jo's area of interest, she took a job at the State University of New York in association with Upstate Medical Center. Here she worked under the mentorship of Ray Colton, recording the voices of patients with cancer of the larynx. Here she and Ray performed one piece of voice quality research each year and presented it to the Voice Foundation. Alongside this, Jo had become a PhD candidate at City University of New York between 1980 to 1984. But she abandoned this before completing her dissertation at the age of 60 to pursue her own self-funded research. Jo began teaching workshops on her findings, and Estill Voice Training was born. There were obstacles for Jo to overcome because she became the lady who was known for teaching belting. This was something that other singing teachers did not do. However, over time, the success of Jo's students and the teachers that she taught blew this myth out of the water, and the criticisms died down. Today, Estill is taught all over the world. The torch now has been passed to the next generation. Jo even said herself, that's just some of the research that can be done. There's so much more. So why not join me for an introductory workshop on Estill Voice Training? You can find out more by clicking the link below or checking out the link in the bio.